Okay, that looks like it's working. So this is the, what is it, December 11th meeting, Google Hangout for the MicroProfile community. And I noticed that we have a few visitors on this week. So if we can we just quickly introduce each other? We'll just quickly go through and introduce ourselves, just to let everybody knows. I did put a link to our minutes in the chat. And so what we do is we tend to, everyone participates in keeping track of the minutes and putting your attendance out there, and to make sure that what we're tracking for the minutes is accurate. So I'm Kevin Sutter. I'm one of the co-project leads on the MicroProfile project, and normally John Klingen kind of runs these weekly meetings, but he's busy this week, and so I'm going to cover it this week. So go ahead next.
Okay. I'm Emily Jiang, and I have been working on MicroProfile for over 2 years. So at the moment, I work on the lead config and fault tolerance, and also the service match. So yeah, so I'm pretty passionate about MicroProfile. So it's yeah. So if you need anything from me, get in touch. By the way, I'm from IBM.
Just go ahead. Anyone just step in. I've just seen several people that are new, and so I thought that we should introduce each other.
So I'm Heiko from Red Hat, working on MicroProfile metrics since 1.5 years or so. Also on the service mesh, and I gave a webinar this morning together with Emily. Well, morning depends on time zone, of course. And I just walked through the snow. Speaking of cold.
Wow.
Okay, Heiko, good. You got me. You got me.
Oh, okay. Next.
Okay, I'm Rudy de Busser, working for Payara. I'm involved with the starter application for MicroProfile, and working mainly also today on the long-running actions, the saga thing.
Okay, thanks.
Ken Finnegan, I lead the Thorntail project. I work for Red Hat and involved in all sorts of MicroProfile specs.
Definitely.
Cesar Saavedra here. I'm with Red Hat. I do the marketing and the technical marketing related to MicroProfile. And I've been involved in the project for a bit over 1.5 years, I think.
Hi, I'm Philip. I live in South Africa. It's summer here. I'm just a big user of MicroProfile, and it's my first Hangout.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, come on. I see some shy people there on mute.
Okay, let me. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry. Hi, my name is Manish. I'm from South Africa. This is my first Hangout, and I'm just a user of MicroProfile and really excited about it.
Are you working with Philip?
Well, no. I work for it's an insurance company.
Okay, great. All from South Africa.
Hello.
Carm, is your name Carm? I can see it, but we cannot hear you, but now we can see you.
Okay, yeah, my name is Carm. Pleased to meet you. I'm from Red Hat and been helping out Cesar with the MicroStarter deployment.
Okay. Okay, so I see Nathan.
Yeah, I'm on here.
There.
Yeah, I've been working on MicroProfile concurrency for the last couple of months there.
Okay. Don't know how to pronounce it. Indigo? Endango? No?
I also saw Carlos. So Carlos, are you on mute?
Hello. Hello.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah,
can
now
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Nongo, and I'm from Senegal in Africa. And I'm a computer science, and I'm a lover to.
So my name is Jose. I'm from Brazil, but actually living in Ireland, and made my.
I think we missed.
Yeah, and Dongo didn't finish.
Yeah, two of you were talking. So can we rewind 30 seconds and restart? Let's do it correctly.
Okay, hello. My name is Nongo, and I'm from Senegal in Africa. And I'm in Indian in computer science and a Java lover. I'm here to learn and know how MicroProfile works. So thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, I'm Richard Monson-Hafel, and I don't know, I think I've been on this call before. I've been not working in MicroProfile, but just kind of helping with the marketing stuff. I'm with Tommy Tribe.
Do we have Jose or Carlos that were trying to do an introduction? Samad, we can see you, but we cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I'm Abdesamad Amzerin. Well, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. So I'm Abdesamad Amzerin. Actually, I'm a software developer. I work with Java technologies. I used to work a little bit, microservices. I worked with Spring, but actually I'm trying to learn a little bit of MicroProfile.
All right.
Yeah, well, I hope I could help you with something. I'm just getting started with contributing to.
You muted yourself by accident.
Yeah, we missed it. We missed him.
So
I think there's an internet activity issue there.
it could be. So Amelia and David, you guys haven't introduced yourselves yet.
David Blevins, one of the people involved in Tommy Tribe and Apache Tommy, and ourselves and IBM and Payara and Red Hat and LJC are the founding members of MicroProfile. And well, it's really amazing to see all these people on this call because it wasn't like this for the previous 2.5 years. So
yeah, no kidding. That's why we're doing the introductions, David, in case you didn't.
Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. It's incredible. And hello, Philip, and all these people that I know, and Jose, and geez, wonderful, Danielle.
Okay, so my name is Amelia. I am Ecuadorian from Tommy Tribe in the operational side, all aspects. And as you will see in the threads, I prefer to work in the open. So all of you, each single one of you who has joined today, we thank you. We expect to see you in the forums and in the Git projects. If there is no way for you to start coding, if you are interested on this, or if you want to help in the branding side, just let us know, but use the forum. And if you do not feel enabled to tell us what's up, or if we are not doing a good job including you and making you valuable, let us know and use Twitter, follow us on Twitter. Everything is there for you to own and to participate and to feel safe. And it's a pleasure to have the last call with so many of you.
And
for 2018.
if you don't understand documentation, assume that it's badly written and raise a pull request or at least an issue saying that this cannot be understood.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Anton is here also. Anton, we're introducing ourselves. Your turn, my friend.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Because I'm using okay. So I'm yeah, you can hear me with my nice French accent. So I'm French. I'm working for Red Hat on MicroProfile and fault tolerance. So working on the specification and fault tolerance implementation in a small UI project for Fontail. And I'm also leading the help check specification for MicroProfile.
You know, before we start with the call, oh, Danielle, hola. Before we start with the call, we need every one of you who has joined us today to add your names into the minutes. We will not do it for you. You have to do the work. So if you are here, add your names to the minutes. You don't have to be from a company. You can say a consultant. It doesn't really matter if you want to add the company or what you're doing. Just add your name, please. There are no secretaries here.
Yeah, so Kevin, can you please send the minute link to the chat so that everybody can go to that minute?
Yeah, I must have, I guess it's not persistent, is it? There we go. There's the same thing.
We have so far 28 incoming, so I will take a photo. I take the worst photos, but they will be in the Twitter, so remember to follow and retweet. Let's start with agenda, Kevin.
Yes, I think so. I think we've given everyone enough chance to start talking. Okay, so the first thing, during last week's call, we had a very good discussion about the decisions that we are making during these meetings and whether or not they're binding. And so we posted the topic out on our forum. As Amelia has pointed out, there hasn't been any follow-on comments, so we're assuming that everything is okay with this and that the group is okay with this direction. So what we had decided is, in order to allow people that haven't, they were not able to attend the last meeting, we've given them time to review the minutes, maybe review the recording, because that we record every one of these and post it out to our YouTube MicroProfile channel, and then we'll just go quickly through each of the decisions and just make sure that there's no dissension, that someone hasn't brought something up that says, no, we don't agree to that. Okay, so if you're not talking, can I ask you to go on mute? Thank you. Okay, so the first thing that we talked about last week was when we were going to target the MicroProfile 2.2 release. And we had decided on February 12th as the target date for the actual announcement. The Eclipse review would be the Wednesday before, so I think it's February 6th. And that gives us, let's see, we're getting a little bit of noise out there, I think. Okay.
We can hear you.
Kevin, you know what we need to do? We need to give access to others to mute attendees.
I had already investigated that, and we don't have that ability. It's only the one that's leading the call. That's the only one that can do it.
Is that you?
It is today.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and go down the list and just mute everybody?
Well, I just muted Jose, and he was the one that was making a lot of noise.
It's okay.
Remember this. These calls are interactive. You will be called on, good or bad. It's just so much fun.
Okay, so and then because the Eclipse reviews are the first and third Wednesday, it does give us a little bit of a the ability that if something happens, we could delay it. But the goal here is to target February 12th for the MicroProfile 2.2 release. So any dissension on that decision?
I have a question. So that means every year we will review this date because is it because we? Okay, that's fine.
Well,
so this is the tie with the Eclipse review dates, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next thing, we wanted to get back on track with actually tracking the release, and we kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. We were doing it through MicroProfile 1.3, but then with the 1.4 and 2.0 releases, we didn't do it very well, and 2.1 we didn't do it, and so with 2.2 we're going back to the idea of using GitHub milestones in order to track a release for each of the components. And so that was a decision that we made. Any comments, dissension on that? Okay, and then I guess the third decision that we made was this whole thing that we decided is that we're going to be listing the decisions in the meeting minutes, and then they would be finalized or approved at the next meeting. So I think we're all good with those decisions. Okay, so the next item that I wanted to follow up on was the MicroProfile 2.2 status. And one of the actions that came out last week also was to make sure that we get these type of reviews and the announcements on our MicroProfile Google Calendar. And so I did do that. And so with each of our releases, we will start putting those type of informational reminders on the calendar to make it easier to track and to know what's coming up. So that the things there, I just repeat for what I just said earlier about the February 6th Eclipse review, and then the February 12th is the announcement. Now for the MicroProfile 2.2 milestone, if you want to take a look at that, this shows all of the pieces that are currently targeted for MicroProfile 2.2. Now, I think from some of the side discussions, oh, maybe it did get moved out. Okay, so one of them was the long-running actions, and I know I've been talking with Michael about that, and I think we moved that out to the 2.3 release then.
Could you share your screen, Kevin, so we can see what you're seeing?
Yeah, I thought that maybe people would just click on it, but let me take a look here.
Thank you.
Good call out.
Okay, now do you see it? No.
Yep, thank you.
You might want to increase your window size so we don't see your Slack.
There, how's that?
Wonderful.
Okay. So as we go through each of these, at this point we're mainly looking for, okay, are we still on track for a 2.2 release, or is are we going to be looking at something beyond? So I see that James is on. The reactive operators and reactive messaging, I think we kind of have those hooked at the hip. Where do you think we're sitting with that, James?
Operators will definitely be ready. I think I can say that messaging won't be ready for 2.2.
Okay, so then maybe we should move that out to the 2.3 milestone?
Yep.
Okay.
James, you missed the introduction.
Yes, I did.
Can you do really quickly? Let's do this. James is awesome.
Am I supposed to introduce myself?
Yes.
I'm James. I work on MicroProfile Reactive, and I work for Lightbend. Is that good?
Leading MicroProfile Reactive.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And you're basically leading Lightbend's MicroProfile initiative. So.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very helpful. Okay, good. So I'm not going to jump to each of these and change it during the call, but I'll do it immediately after the call. Nathan with concurrency.
Yeah, so this one has never really quite been on target for 2.2. It should be available shortly after, but it's going to have to move to 2.3.
Okay. By the way, I'm not sad to see some of these go because the release was getting so big, and I was wondering how we were going to be able to contain all of this. So,
Kevin, just one question. Sorry. I remember that we said earlier that a new spec just need to do a standalone release first, and that later on it was included in the umbrellas. Is that still the case, or?
Correct. That is still our plan. But the reason that I'm still kind of tracking this is if we would have, let's just use concurrency as an example. If we would have concurrency 1.0 available, then we could kind of publicize that at the same time. So we could say MicroProfile 2.2 release, and we have the concurrency 1.0 release.
Because that was also our discussion last Monday, well, yesterday then, about that long-running actions, if we would try to make it or not, that 2.2 release, because we are the first release, so probably we need to do a standalone first. So
Right. Yep, that's the same way. And then I guess, reactive operators, if James sticks to this and we're able to get that out with the MicroProfile 2.2, it's not actually part of the platform yet. It would just be released separately at the same time.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
On us tracking the projects and the process of the progress on each project. Have we been able to communicate with or hear back acknowledgement from each active contributor on those and the projects that we currently are active? Having meetings and as such, because I do not think we have that as an option. We just send the minutes via John updating what is expected from the projects.
I guess I'm not sure I understand the question, Amelia.
We are going to start using, when we started MicroProfile, we used to use Git to do all the work and add tracing. And then we got so busy that we left it behind and just started using Gitter and all those things. Now we're going back to basics so that everything is aligned and we know what every project is doing and how to help them and how they can help us. What I wonder is, we have many on this call, and I wonder if any of us internally has contacted those that are added into the MicroProfile projects as active contributors. When I see the minutes, but maybe they are not in this call, we have not done the extra work. And I wonder if that is a necessity, or should we go forward and expect them to catch up with the minutes and understand that this is a requirement? I see you don't understand it.
That was super long. What's the heart of what you're trying to say?
I want to say, have we heard, because we didn't get any feedback
No,
on
not because. What is the heart of what you want?
We didn't get any feedback on what, and in this call about using it to track the process on all the projects, correct?
Well, no. Well, I mean, we had a good discussion on it. We had a thread related to it, and then we discussed it at our last meeting, at the last Google Hangout.
And that is amazing, but silence doesn't mean that they have seen it or agreed. So,
okay. Well,
silent is consent. Silence is consent.
So we have a clear process in front of us that we're going through at this moment. Is there a reason to not continue going through it?
No reason.
Again, silent is consent. Consent. Yeah, just go ahead.
Exactly. All right, let's do it. Let's keep going.
Reiteration. We're going to use reiteration, and if someone is unhappy about it, they have 2 weeks. But the 2 weeks already passed. We have agreed. So I'm just making sure that in the call, during the video, that this is clarified. Because when we started, we said there was no follow-up. But silence doesn't mean that the ones involved have seen it. It just means that there is no follow-up. I'm just making sure that what is specific.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's continue running down this. So is Pavel on today?
I don't think so. He's at KubeCon this week, so I'm not even sure if I can easily reach him.
Okay. From talking with my IBM contact with this, I think open tracing is on track, but I'll have to follow up with him.
I have the same impression.
Okay. Heiko, since you're talking, how about metrics 2.0?
Yes, so we will have something, perhaps not everything, but something.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, that's good. Let's see, the REST client. Is Andy on today?
Did not see him.
Okay. I know I've talked with Andy. Andy works at IBM as well. And I know he's on track with this because he's been driving it for the CXF implementation as well. So I think we're good on that one. Health check. Let's see, Antoine, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. In fact, it won't be health check 1.1, it will be health check 2.0 because we will introduce some non-backward compatibility evolution in the response format.
Okay. Okay, I'll get that updated then. And so you still see that as being part of MicroProfile 2.2 then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. I can't see the full list. Is Arthur on today?
Didn't see him.
Okay, we got to get more IBM participation, Emily. We're
Yes.
gonna have to browbeat these people. So I know Arthur is well on his way to a 1.1 update as well. So I think we're still green on that one. Emily, fault tolerance.
Yeah, we're on track. So
Okay.
good.
And then how about config 1.4?
Config is we had a good discussion this week, and also I got Jeff from Red Hat to look at the APIs. Basically, Mark proposed and I did more modification. So we need to do another talk, another meetup or hangout next week.
Okay.
So there's some uncertainty, but at the moment, I'm still trying.
Okay, good. Okay, so thanks, Cesar, for telling me to share the screen.
No worries.
Wow, now we're up to 35. So
Now
what
we were
is,
at 36 at one point.
what
We
is
lost one.
special about this week?
You know,
There was an invite sent. Someone sent a Google Calendar invite, and it popped up. Oh, I know I'm here because of that invite. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, welcome.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
Let me
I think Amelia sent that.
Everyone can blame me for that invite. I chose to own the feedback on send the invite to the entire forum. That will be plus 1,070, and say you can add them to the calendar. Not everyone knows that it's a MicroProfile calendar. And since last call, we decided that we were going to clean the calendar and do a little bit more tracing, just to add the entire forum. So then you can have this call as you can say no and move on. You can say yes or maybe, and you can blame it. Should you be here and you do not know why?
Yeah, that's
And
what
thank you
happened
for
to
the
me.
trust because it comes directly from. Yeah, exactly. So let's move on because the agenda is packed, right?
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
No,
But it is nice. It is nice having all of the participation. I mean,
yeah, and I wanted to know that if the JCP would do that, that would be awesome too. So Amelia, if you want to send the JCP calendars too.
Let's you and I work on that on the side. We have full agenda, Leo. I love you, but let's do that on the side.
I know.
All right.
Okay. So the next item, I guess, Amelia, you assigned this to David, the website care and maintenance.
Correct.
All right, is that an agenda item? All right, so at the current state is we have infra kind of awkwardly split up between us. And that's probably going to continue to be the case, once start.microprofile.io gets going. It's a little bit of an awkward situation. So we've attempted to consolidate control over the infrastructure in the past and not done a very good job at it. And so, I created a specific infrastructure list that at least a few people can be on. And the idea is that account be the root owner of any public pieces of infrastructure that we depend upon, right? So, for example, the Cloudflare account that runs MicroProfile.io was set up under my email address. So I switched that over to be MicroProfile-infra, and so there's at least 5 of us who have access to that. So theoretically, any of those 5 could just entirely nuke MicroProfile.io, which is, great power, great responsibility. But all equal footing. I posted yesterday that we had gotten the MicroProfile WordPress install switched over. I was mistaken. We added an account into the WordPress install, but there is an account that holds the entire WordPress install. So we're currently working with WP Engine to get a new account set up that will be owned by MicroProfile-infra, and then they're going to relink the WordPress install to that new account, and then any of the 5 of us can completely nuke the MicroProfile.io website. And so ideally, we continue proceeding this fashion, because I know from experience, we set up a lot of the infrastructure in the early days of MicroProfile. We never really successfully got many people to participate in getting it transferred over. Even if that's not the case, even if the same people still maintain it, ideally everybody has equal control. So if one of us is hit by a bus, we have business continuity from a community perspective. So that's the real critical need right there.
Yeah, I have to admit, David, that when I started to see stuff from Cloudflare that I had no idea what that was, I thought it was spam or a phishing exercise or something.
Yeah, it's okay, because the status is we set up MicroProfile.io in a huge rush to try and make the Red Hat, Dev Nation keynote so we could announce there. And then we went straight into writing specs.
Yep.
And so, it's something that we've had on the back burner, and we kind of pieced it together, and, people have rotated out and things like that. So it's a good time to get it all under control.
Okay, so I have a question then. This MicroProfile infra Google group that you sent up, is that only for these 5 special people that are owners of it, or is that for anybody?
It's for anybody who you want. Basically, I personally didn't want responsibility for deciding who should or should not have control over infra. So I basically put the leads of the various companies on the list, so you guys have the ability and responsibility to make sure whoever you think from your orgs needs access should get it, right?
Okay.
So basically, at this moment, I seeded it with 5 of us, and it's up to us to decide who else should get access.
Okay.
So at this moment, I don't consider myself to be primarily responsible. All of us are.
Right. Okay.
The 5 are from the Red Hat. Is it from Red Hat? Is it John Klingen?
Yeah, it's John, Kevin, Andro from Payara, myself, and I forget who else. But anyway, we need to get like a responsible number of people in there. I would say we don't have enough. We need probably like 12. I would say is probably a good number, because these people will have the ability to completely nuke all of MicroProfile's internet presence. So, we kind of want like not too many, but we needed it enough that if people are out or on vacation, we can do things like roll out, keep things running, right? So,
yep.
I am at the moment adding the link because the current changes, the additions of Cloudflare have been added to the MicroProfile.io admin access. We have WordPress, which was a huge undertaking for the summer. And this is part of the infra. So it's added. I just shared the link so everyone it has a view-only access for everyone here, except if you are as an active member of the MicroProfile marketing or branding, you can request access to edit, but the document is here. Any changes must be reported here. Should the 4 or 5 they have been added decide to add members of the team, it needs to be added to the document. It's not that if you choose to add, take the moment, the 2 minutes, to add it to the document. There is no doing it later or procrastinating, because that is what happens when we will not know who controls what and where. We need to be responsible.
One thing that I'll say is that though we're going to have a group list being the owner of the majority or all of the accounts, if we can pull it off, most of these cloud services do allow you to open up other accounts with lesser permissions, including admin permissions, and they don't necessarily have the ability to delete the entire install. But either way, those of us who are going to act in an infrastructural role, we should be creating individual accounts for ourselves so our names come up in the audit trail of who's deleting, adding, so on and so forth, right?
Correct. There is no...
May I ask, what's the channel where you guys were going to communicate the changes? Like, for instance, when I get up and want to add an A record to the Cloudflare account, is this communicated somewhere, like on the list, like, hey guys, I'm going to do this change?
Correct.
I think that's up to us to put these practices into place. We should do that, and so, like I say, we need to get like at least another 6 people on this info list. So people who are doers. I don't consider myself to be a doer. I've not enough time, so I've got Cesar Hernandez on our team on the list, and Jonathan Gallimore. Both of them get stuff done, and so
So for the work we're doing on start.microprofile.io, who can we work with that has knowledge of Cloudflare?
Well, so you can email microprofile-infra if you need to have stuff done, right? Anybody can email the list. It's just that if you have access to receive emails on the list, you can reset any of the passwords to any of the things that we have out there, right? So
it's at microprofile.io, right?
It's microprofile-infra at Google Group.
But yeah, can you add to the minutes the email and state clearly that the expectation says, I added quickly for to add tracing before we put all the steps into place. I have added this data on the drive saying MP admins, and I have made it super general, but we need to be much more specialized. And the shortcut is the document and the drive. I think someone asked, how do we trace it in a moment? But like David explained, and let me reiterate, everyone that has been added needs to create their own accounts. Should anything happen, their admins on their companies or vendors, we need to know who did what when, using what, right? There is we just need to put it in place.
Hold on that. So I would say we would probably need, Rudy on the info list. Carm, we would probably need. Do you go by Carm or Michael? Which one do you like?
It's usually Carm.
Okay, probably we need you on the list. So people who need things don't necessarily need to be on the list. They can ask out in MicroProfile regular group. People who actually provide those things, those are the ones who need to be on the list. And so, because if you roll out a change and stuff breaks, you need to be there and available to clean up a mess, right? And so we need the technical people who are actually going to execute the changes.
How soon can Carm have access to that?
Well, I mean, immediately. I mean,
Okay, good.
Does anybody have any objections?
Nope. I think that's the idea, David, right? I guess Cesar isn't a member of the group yet, so we should probably make Cesar a member.
Well, like I say, people who need things don't need to be on the list. You can ask. If you're going to actually execute the change and sit there and watch the production system and be the one to actually react and fix the issue, then you're going to be on the list.
Correct.
Yes, that's what I would do too, yes.
Okay. If you just need something, you don't
I'm hands-on.
Okay.
Hands-on. Like that's like a hands-on needs to be added to the description of this.
We'll get you on there, and then in terms of the stuff that you're looking to get it done in terms of infrastructure to set up start.microprofile.io to host that, are you able to make
the whole start microprofile is just adding one a DNS record to Cloudflare that would point to an IP address hosted on Amazon Web Services. It's a huge change.
So that will be like the last step, right?
Let me put a stop on this. I have added a thread for this conversation, following up conversation. Let's use the forum.
I just wanted to ask the critical question.
Yeah, just in case for anyone that wants to attend,
right?
We're having a meeting about start.microprofile.io, and it's already in the MicroProfile calendar on the 18th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, US.
That is for the startup, correct? It's
Yes, but it's a sync up. You know, I was hoping to have everything up and running by the end of this week. I mean, for testing.
Right.
And then so that on the 18th, Rudy, Carm, Ryan, I would like Ryan to attend there also because he's working on the design of the page.
If you use the minutes in the forum, we will make sure that you like there is enough backup to understand the changes. But if you use private channels, we will not. So I see you using the channel, the forum, and kudos on that.
Yeah,
okay. Right. Quick question. The where is the stuff going to run? You said AWS, or was it open?
Right. So so what happened was, you know, this has been on our plate for months, right? So it took me a little while to find the best way to, you know, the most convenient and cheapest infrastructure. I reached out to Eclipse Foundation. They gave me pricing, and then I was able to get funding from Red Hat to actually pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be using Amazon, which is the best pricing that we're getting.
Okay.
And so the idea is to create a virtual machine there, load everything. Carm has been helping with the actually creating the Docker images and all that with Rudy's project.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to use Ryan skinning to you know for the design, and then we're going to set it all up on that VM. We're going to have a temporary you know URL for everyone to look at it and you know comment and get feedback before we actually you know officially launch it.
Okay.
So that's the plan.
Quick note. If it's just going to be on Amazon, I'll simply say there is already a MicroProfile Amazon account.
Okay.
I set it up when we launched MicroProfile. We covered the cost of that account up until we shift to WordPress, and now we're simply not really using the account.
Okay.
If you'd like to take over billing for the account, great.
We used to
there's no reason for us to set up another account or lose it.
Right. Yeah. The only problem, yeah. Let me find out because we're going to be using the corporate credit card, and I'm not sure how that works.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Cesar, what's that corporate credit card number?
Yeah. 111-11.
We all appreciate this. Thank you so much.
999.
Can we close it? Can we continue using the forum to move forward with the process? This call is not to minutia, so let's stop.
We'll get you on InfoList. We can have the discussion there. Like I say, there's an account there. It already has no Tommy Tribe ties at all. It was deliberately set up to be separate so that the community could completely take it over in all aspects.
Correct.
So it's you know if you want to be the one with a credit card on file instead of us, we will certainly let you. And
so let me ask internally here how that works, and then I'll let you know what the next step is for that. But thanks for offering that account.
Okay, so David, anything else that you wanted to mention about the website?
No, other than we need to find a place to document our infrastructure. I don't know that Google Doc is the right place to do it.
It's not. It's temporary.
It may be the right place to do it, but a standard thing that an infra team needs is an inventory of what you have and where it all lives and what it does. and
Mhm.
so we're lacking that. So we need to get that set up.
Can you use the MicroProfile wiki to open a new page and have that document?
You typically have sensitive information on that type of document. So even if we use the MicroProfile wiki, which we certainly can do and publish publicly the stuff that's there, we still need to set up something private where we can put passwords and things like that. So
Yeah, we need two different documentation, one that is private for admins and one that is public for everyone to know exactly what's going on and how we're using the stuff. The drive is public knowledge, but we have never created an internal. It has been housed under Tommy Tribe, and that needs to change.
Yeah, or maybe a Google Doc and have a password enabled.
Well, we will figure it out. Let's use the forum.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I think that's enough for that topic. The next item on the agenda, Amelia, you were going to talk about
it's actually
profile IO and blogging and reviews and.
Okay, so let me do really quickly. This is the follow-up. It's about MicroProfile IO. A few months ago, the active volunteers and the branding team, we created this thing where the website, we moved everything to WordPress, and we created documentation and say become an author or a contributor. And then the guidelines are directly on the click on their blog. It tells you, or a new person, anyone, how to submit a blog and everything else. Now we have so much content being submitted that is amazing, not only video but written. What we're lacking in is to have the structure on ownership. For instance, I catch up last week and I reviewed 7 different blogs, approved 3, 4 where one was garbage and the other 3 were not, they don't follow the standards of what can be submitted. We need a second person to push the content. What I'm asking for, and I started a thread, is for us to do better. It cannot go into 2 weeks. What we see currently is that the admins that are added, not as a bad thing, it's just everyone is so used to pushing their own content, and we are forgetting that we're getting fed content by the community. We are being irresponsible to the trust given to us by asking them to contribute. And I am saying this doesn't work. I started the thread a week or 2 weeks ago. I have follow up. We have 7 new blogs, and they are very technical. There are tutorials, and we need this live. I need someone in this call or a few volunteers to say, I will on review and push of 3 of those that you already reviewed. I'm telling you, the first work has been done. We need a second thing. And if this is a call that we will need to push for us to do better, so be it. I'm just saying we're lacking on this sense. And this is not about the volunteers that are editors and administrators for the WordPress. It's that there has never been an ownership of who does what and when. So we need to do better. So here, who wants to review? It's very technical. The 10 blogs are really technical.
Well, so I guess, instead of trying to find a volunteer that we don't know anything about what the content is, what about, it sounds like you're kind of looking at these blogs initially to just kind of, did they follow the guidelines, recommendations and stuff? And now you're looking for a technical review.
Correct.
So, can that request be more targeted? For example, if it was related to metrics, could something be posted to the metrics getter channel or something that says, hey, I've got this blog that needs to be reviewed?
Exactly that. We don't have that set up, and I think we need to be targeted to say we cannot take people for granted and their time. So I think we just throw it in the air, but there is no ownership. So what I did yesterday was to add John and say, hey, this is something for us to decide in this call. How do we proceed to get volunteers on the technical side? Though I will understand a bunch of it. It's like, I cannot do the original review, or the branding team cannot do the original review because we're not equipped to handle the technical side.
Issues. Why don't we just file a GitHub issue in the respective community? Can you please review this for accuracy?
Love that. Can we do this? Can we agree here?
That would be,
Can we agree here that is what we're going to do moving forward? And then if someone can add the link of all we have the projects, but we need the...
So basically, I think we need this self-serve. So if you're a person who has created a blog post can you submit your blog post to the GitHub issue of the spec your blog post is about, so and ask for a review. And if you get nothing after a week, then I think that's a green light to go ahead and post it.
So there's a like a couple of things for this blog issue. So first thing is if like this blog is just about a particular spec, yes, what you suggest, okay, ask the Gitter. So very often, sometimes like they touch on multiple, specifications. I think what I'm going to say is, how about like when you post this blog post, you just directly send a message to the MicroProfile mailing list. I mean,
but it's too, well, Emily, I think what the problem there is that, I mean, our forum is getting so full and busy that I think that's some of the noise that Amelia has been talking about, is that there's just, it's too easy to ignore that.
Correct. It's too easy to ignore, and though we have it in the minutes added, the MicroProfile marketing and the regular forum to say, I have submitted a new article, it doesn't move forward. Since this is a problem that is past 1 month, we need to do better. And I think tickets is great.
Okay, so for this, you are monitoring. I mean, how did you know there's a blog coming up? I have not, seen this new blog. I mean, just you, be able to see it?
What we have currently set up in the documentation is send a note to the forum and NCC MicroProfile marketing, and we will know that a new blog has been added to WordPress, right, for review. And then we go in there. There are about 20-some, a total of over 13 or so editors and admins, close to 20 that can review. However, we don't have the process to get them to review. What I'm saying is filing a Jira ticket and adding someone technical or like focused from the projects will be a nice way to go. We just need to redirect this after it passes the first review. Do you see there is a process that we don't have in place? So that we have 10 current really technical blogs.
So certainly we need to register like some technical leads to the or anyone volunteers who wish to review blog to that repo, so that they can get notified, so they can just do the job straight away.
Or delegate it.
Yeah, so we do need a kind of this kind of notification kind of method to reach people. The other thing is, if your blog is directly to link any particular spec, I think is getting post a message on Gitter or with the GitHub. That's kind of quite a neat thing to do as well.
It will not work when we send it to forums. It gets like playing volleyball on the beach.
GitHub issues is what you consider to be Jira. It's the same thing.
Yes, Git I think is the way to go here.
Gitter, what I said, Gitter or Gitter conversation. So that's only.
I think the idea though of having an actual issue, then it's easy to know, okay, who picked it up, who is it assigned to, and they can follow through with it. I think even if we would push it out to, the Gitter channel, then there still is no record of who actually picked it up and is doing the work.
Yes, and
the GitHub issue is the best.
Yeah, and guess what? If I need to do, if I volunteer myself to spend an hour working on the review, the initial review, to see who passes and who doesn't passes, because sometimes they are German or French, so I need to use Google Translator, and it passes the first review because it has been in JAX and all these things. It's just proven, right? Sometimes it just needs a quick follow-up. I will not add myself to the different channels that the projects are adding because I don't have the bandwidth to be in all these different things. Like I just quit MicroProfile marketing tool because to my sons, and I already was very open on this. What I'm saying is let's do Git and try it for a month and see if it works.
Great. But we have a lot, so let's try and turn this into an action item that somebody who's brand new to this call can take. So one, do we have documentation anywhere on how to submit a blog post to the MicroProfile?
Yes.
Yeah, I pasted the link in the chat.
Someone here should go to that page and add the suggestion to submit your blog post as a GitHub issue to the respective specs that your blog post covers so they can review it. That's basically the new workflow. So someone should take the initiative to update that page. So if you're looking for a place to contribute, that's it right there.
Let me throw a volunteer here. Danielle, you're here. You were one of the latest contributors. You got already a video posted, a few. Can you own this task?
Well, I think you should let people volunteer because we have so many volunteers, right? So
3 minutes to go. We're done with the call.
does someone want this task? Come on, you're thinking about maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know, should I open my mouth? Yes, you should. Go ahead. Who wants this task?
Do you see?
I think the people who are laughing the most. Come on, someone be brave.
Okay, I'll do it.
I can pick this one, guys.
Okay, Rodrigo. There you go.
Yeah.
You know exactly where to find it, right?
Can I just clarify something? So if the blog or video related to like a multiple specs, so you expect people to open, each multiple GitHub issues on
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? It's unlikely you're going to hit 5 specs in one blog post, but more likely you hit 2 or 3.
And if you don't know, that's okay. I mean, if it gets to Emily or Amelia's lap, I mean, she knows who to contact. So I don't want it to come across on, whoever's writing a blog that all of a sudden they need to be an expert on our whole organization.
It's a do your best type of a thing.
Yep, exactly.
If you make a wrong turn in the MicroProfile community, you will be politely guided to the right door.
Absolutely.
Right. The other thing is if they cannot work it out, how about raise the issue on the MicroProfile that's a parent, that GitHub. So you will there's a parent, right? The umbrella spec, the Eclipse MicroProfile, that GitHub.
Sure, that could be the fallback if you have no idea where to log one.
Yeah.
And what I would like for us to avoid is single pointing to some individual that is active on this. We shouldn't take for granted that someone is available to do the review. We should be very careful how we contact, and this is why Gits is fantastic as a tooling and just for transparency and tracing. So Rodrigo, thank you for owning the task and following via the forum when you complete it.
Okay, so I did, just because we're running out of time, I did put that decision into our minutes. And then we just need to get those blog instructions updated. And so Amelia, before I give it to you for the Twitter update, I just wanted everyone on the call to know that the next meeting is not until January 8th because of I think, let's see, yeah, we would hit Christmas on the next one. And then 2 weeks after that is January 8th.
Yes.
So, okay, so the last thing, you've got 1 minute, Amelia, to talk about your Twitter update.
Oh, check the forum. The thread is added to the forum. You want to follow up, you need some feedback. So check the thread and we do all the work on the forum. If the work is necessary to be completed asynchronous. There is no need for this call.
Okay. Good. Hey, it's the top of the hour. Any other comments or anything before we close?
Happy holidays, everyone. Keep safe and see you next year. Thank you for joining today. It's amazing.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
People for showing up. That was really awesome.